Hi, my name is Savita and I'm an intern at the East Georgia Cancer Coalition, and I'm also a certified cancer exercise specialist. This video is going to go over some strengthening exercises specifically focusing on your glutes, your hamstrings, your abdominals, and your obliques to help correct an anterior tilt. You're going to need a BOSU dome, a BOSU ball, and a resistance band and some space on the ground to complete some of these exercises. We're first going to start off with this BOSU dome, and we're going to start off by laying on the floor and putting our feet on top of the dome just like this. You're going to lay back and you're going to have those hands pressed into the ground, and you're going to use those glutes and those hips, pushing up, squeezing at the top, and coming down. And keep those feet right there, right on top. And you're going to repeat this exercise for about 5 to 10 times and holding for a few seconds at the top. So pushing up and coming down. Make sure you're breathing. Pushing up and coming down. Repeating for a total of about 5 to 10 times, holding for a few seconds at the top. After doing this, you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to have your back on this part now and your feet on the ground. So your back is going to be right here on top, and your feet are going to be planted on the ground. Those feet are hip width apart, and you're pressing up and coming down, strengthening those hip flexors and those glutes and those abdominals. Coming up and down. Repeating for a total about 5 to 10 times. Make sure your back is up on the dome. Holding for a few seconds at the top. Make sure you're breathing. After doing this exercise, again for about 5 to 10 times, you're going to do a similar exercise, but with the BOSU ball. So you move the dome out of the way. You're going to use that BOSU ball. This is going to be a little more challenging, but same thing. You're going to have your feet on this BOSU ball, laying down on the ground. Those arms and hands are pressed firmly into the ground. Those legs and feet are hip width apart, parallel to one another. And you're pressing up and coming down. This is going to be more challenging since this ball will move and it's not stable, and it's going to use more strength from your hamstrings, but still using that strength from your glutes and your hip flexors and your abs as well. So about 5 to 10 times, trying to hold it a little bit at the top and trying to go up there with as little wobbling as possible. So make sure you're breathing, track, exhale at the top, and come down again. And you might not get that high, that's fine, you might just be right here, and that's okay. You want to continue to work at it until you get to the top, and come down. Keep repeating for a total about 5 to 10 times. We'll do one more. And keeping those hands and arms pressed into the ground. Great job. After that, I'm going to take a resistance band and you're going to put it over just a little higher than your knees. You're going to lay on the ground like this. Your heels are going to stay together, lying on your side. And you're opening and closing those legs. So that resistance band is going to provide some resistance, and opening and closing. There are different difficulties of resistance bands. So probably start off with the least resistance. That's what you want to do. But if it's too easy, if you're able to do it, if you don't have any resistance with it, then you can go up to the next one, but always start off with the band with the least resistance. Doing this about 5 to 10 times on one side, opening all the way, keeping those heels and those feet pressed together. Then you can do the same thing on the other side. So, same thing, heels and feet are together, knees are opening and closing. And again, start off with the band with least resistance. You might find that one side is easier to do than the other. So that's why you always want to start off at the lowest level and then work your way up. 5 to 10 times. After doing this, you can take that band off and we're going to do some squats. So right here, you're gonna have your feet a little wider than hip width apart. That weight is going to the back of your heels. And you're gonna use those abs and your glutes. You're gonna go down and come up, squeeze those glutes. You can have your hands here or up above, wherever you feel comfortable. And from the side, it looks like this. Again, weight is in the back of those heels, squatting, coming up, and squeezing. You don't have to go as low. Again, you might just be able to be right here and coming up perfectly fine. What you're working towards is getting lower, coming up. Do this for about 5 to 10 times. Make sure you're breathing, using those abs, squeezing those glutes, and keeping the weight in the back of your heels. Lastly, we're going to work our abdominals. You come down onto the ground, and do some crunches, and we have an angle. Keeping that chest up, that neck in neutral. You're just doing some slight crunches. Make sure you're breathing, contracting those abdominals. Feel it at the top right here. Keeping that chest up, neck in neutral. 5 to 10 times. Just some small crunches right here. Afterwards, you can lift those legs up. Same thing, but with those legs up. You can reach for those toes, or if that's too much on your neck, then support your neck. Same thing, keeping that neck in neutral, lifting up, using those abs, and make sure you're breathing. After doing those about 5 to 10 times, and we come up and we have one last exercise. We're going to use this bouncy ball. I'm going to sit on top of it. You're going to balance. You're going to twist from side to side. So you're leaning back slightly. Rotate just slightly. You're twisting from side to side, keeping those abs engaged. Starting off with no weight. If this is easy, you can do this without any issues. You can add the low weight, 1 pound, working your way up very slowly and twisting from side to side, about 5 to 10 times on each side. Thank you so much for watching our strengthening video for correcting an anterior tilt. Please be sure to check out our stretching video as well, and our stretch and strengthen videos for posterior tilts. Thank you so much for watching.